Bitcoin is unstoppable, and that's never going to change. In today's show, Bitcoin faces a ton of resistance after daily price gains pass 5%. In breaking news just in, Franklin Templeton files for a spot Bitcoin ETF. The fact is they're a $1.5 trillion asset manager. Let's go. Also, quoting Max Kaiser, considering yesterday was the 22-year anniversary of 9/11, here's what Max shared. Bitcoin is the currency of resistance. If Satoshi had released Bitcoin 10 years earlier, 9/11 would have never happened. Also in today's show, PayPal enables US users to sell cryptocurrency via the MetaMask wallet. We'll also be discussing crypto investor Chris Bernzik predicts a Santa Claus rally before the Fed cut rates in 2024. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin to hit $100,000 around the time of the next halving. That's right, the Canaan vice president believes the supply deficit following the next Bitcoin halving will drive the price past $100,000 per coin. We'll also be discussing the eToro CEO sees the Bitcoin price rallying to a new all-time high, literally shattering $100,000. I'll be breaking down his timeline. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more in today's show. And a quick reminder to smash that like button. It helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm and also helps support the channel. If you like receiving daily premium crypto news alerts every single day just like this, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to turn on all notifications. Also, we have a new channel, which you can see here, our Crypto News Alerts Clips channel, which is growing like gangbusters. I highly encourage you to subscribe. It's clips.cryptonewsalerts.net or simply click the link in the description right down below, as I'm going to be sharing shorts and clips from this daily live stream on a daily basis. And with that being shared, fam, welcome everyone just tuning in. Hallelujah. The market is back in the green. It's about time. I think it's fantastic that the price action is up 5% after a very bearish sentiment over the past week. So let's break it down with our market watch, and welcome to everyone just tuning in. Make sure to say hello in the live chat and let me know where you're tuning in from. This is pod episode number 1399. I'm your host, JV, and today is September 12th, 2023. Checking out our market watch here, you can see Bitcoin back above 26,000, which is a great sign. We also have Ether at roughly $1,600, along with BNB, XRP, and all the major alts currently pumping and in the green. The crypto market cap also back on the rise, sitting just above that $1 trillion milestone with roughly 36 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. We have the Bitcoin dominance also on the rise at 49.1%, and the Ether dominance at 18.6%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, we got Bitcoin Cash leading the pack, up 12%, trading above $203, followed by Toncoin up 10%, trading at $1.81, followed by VeChain up 10%, trading at roughly 1.6 cents. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past week, I mean, a great omen considering yesterday's live stream when we shared this, it was virtually every single altcoin in the top 100 in the red. Today, virtually all of them in the green. We got RLB leading the pack up a whopping 23%, followed by Bitcoin Cash up roughly 12%. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're rated a 30 back in fear. Yesterday was a 40, last week a 40, and last month a 54, which is neutral. So there you have it. How many of you took advantage of the recent Bitcoin price dip when we touched back in the 25,000 range? Let me know. And how many of you are pretty excited for the future price action where the King Crypto is about to go? Holla at your boy. Now let's break down the latest technical analysis. Check out the charts and what the top analysts are saying regarding and surrounding the most recent price action. Here we go. Bitcoin attempted to flip and hold 26,000 at the September 12th Wall Street Open as a swift Bitcoin price rebound. Excited traders. Are you one of those excited traders? Do let me know. As you can see here, the Bitcoin 1 hour candle chart. Data from Cointelegraph and TradingView shows the largest crypto holding the majority of its 24-hour gains, which at one point totaled 5.5%. And at this time, 26,000 formed the focus, already flagged as an important line in the sand for the Bitcoin bulls to reclaim. Quoting popular crypto trader Jelly, there we go, range lows reclaimed. Want to see another test of 27,000 now? Let's go. Fellow trader Crypto Ed went further, hoping for a trip to 28 as the ultimate outcome on the shorter time frames with another sweep of the range lows first, as outlined here in this chart. Now, eyeing the odds of continued upside, we have another analyst, Keith Allen, co-founder of Material Indicators, warning that significant resistance lay overhead in the form of various moving averages. He also successfully forecast the latest upside, and Allen continued to underscore the significance of 24,750 holding as support. Quoting him here, there is a ton of technical resistance overhead, starting with the 21-day moving average, a death cross between the 50-day and 200-day moving averages, and ultimately the 100-day moving average, which has confluence with the range high. He also says that 24,750 remains the critical level to hold to keep this rally alive. Let's go. Focus on how PA interacts with those levels if and when they are approached. He also added that the longer-term picture remained the same. Quoting him again, don't expect a straight rip to the top of the range. Clearing any of these resistance levels takes some strength from bulls, and the herd has to regroup and graze a bit before they can go after the next level. Makes a lot of good points here. And casting a cursory look at the rest of quarter three, trading platform QCP Capital warned that Bitcoin and crypto faced plenty of potential selling pressure, in addition to macroeconomic triggers such as the U.S. Fed upcoming decision on interest rates. Industry-specific hurdles still lay ahead. In the latest market update released September 12th, QCP referenced a concentration of upcoming bearish events that only turn neutral from mid-October and onwards. Quoting them here, this includes a likely higher than expected CPI tomorrow and a more hawkish than expected FOMC next week, plus the FTX token asset sales and Mt. Gox over the next month to cap things off. Hence, while our theory implies a bottom early next month, we think the true bottom will come in late mid-October when the news cycle has run its course. And they also added that expected a conversely bullish end to the year and a start of 2024. But what are your thoughts, fam? Let me know in the comments right down below. I personally feel the bottom is in. I think we hit that bottom fourth quarter of last year when we touched 15,700. But please do let me know your honest thoughts, and I'll read those thoughts out loud at the end of the show. Now let's discuss breaking news. A new spot Bitcoin ETF application has been submitted by a $1.5 trillion asset manager named Franklin Templeton as the dominoes continue falling when it comes to ETF spot apps. That's right, asset manager Franklin Templeton applied to the United States SEC today, September 12th, to launch a spot Bitcoin ETF. The S1 registration statement comes after the SEC delayed decisions on spot ETF apps from WisdomTree, Valkyrie, Fidelity, VanEck, Bitwise, and Invesco on August 31st, and a court ruling on August 29th that the SEC must consider the Grayscale application to convert its Bitcoin Grayscale Trust product which is into a spot ETF. And according to the app, the fund would be structured as a trust. Coinbase would custody the BTC, and the Bank of New York Mellon would be the cash custodian as well as the administrator. The fund shares would trade on the CBOE BZX exchange, and the SEC's next deadline for deciding on the application is October 16th, which is right around the corner, as pointed out here by Bitcoin for Freedom. Bitcoin spot ETF apps: BlackRock, 10 trillion in assets under management; Fidelity, 4.5 trillion; Franklin Templeton, 1.5 trillion; Invesco Galaxy, 1.5 trillion; WisdomTree, 87 billion; VanEck, 61 billion. And the list goes on and on. Global X, 40 billion. ARK Invest, as you can see here, 14 billion. Bitwise, 1 billion. Valkyrie, 1 billion. That's a grand total of $17.7 trillion from the major asset managers that currently have applications for a spot Bitcoin ETF in the United States. And a little pun, probably nothing. Now, Franklin Templeton noted the risk from regulatory uncertainty in its application, quoting them here: digital asset markets in the U.S. exist in a state of regulatory uncertainty, and adverse legislative or regulatory developments could significantly harm the value of Bitcoin or the shares, such as by banning, restricting, or imposing onerous conditions or prohibitions on the use of Bitcoin's mining activity, digital wallets, and the provision of services related to trading and custodying Bitcoin, the operation of the Bitcoin network, or the digital asset markets generally. Now, Franklin Templeton has 1.5 trillion in assets under management, and at this time, we know the Bitcoin price just surged 5%, which is a good look. Now, I actually want to also point out a recent quote from Max Kaiser, considering yesterday was the 22-year anniversary of 9/11. Quoting Max, "Bitcoin is the currency of resistance. If Satoshi had realized Bitcoin 10 years earlier, 9/11 would have never happened." Let me know if you agree or disagree with this bold claim by the one and only high priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser. And welcome to everyone just joining us. Let me know where you're tuning in from and what you're most excited about in the Bitcoin market this week. Now that we've discussed the $1.5 trillion asset manager submitting a Bitcoin spot ETF application, now let's break down our next story of the day, which is PayPal along with the MetaMask wallet. This just came in here this morning. Global Global payment giant PayPal continues expanding its digital asset services, integrating new methods to sell cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. On September 11th, yesterday, PayPal introduced new on and off ramps for Web3 payments, allowing users in the US to convert their crypto to US dollars directly from their wallets into their PayPal balances. And according to the announcement, the PayPal off-ramp feature is immediately available to wallets, decentralized apps, and non-fungible token marketplaces, and is now officially live on MetaMask. How many of you are familiar with the MetaMask wallet and have used it in the past? Let me know. The new features are designed to enable customers to buy and sell several cryptos in the United States. Quoting them here, once integrated, Web3 merchants can help grow their user base by connecting to PayPal's fast and seamless payments experience, trusted by millions, while leveraging PayPal's robust security controls and tools for fraud management, chargebacks, as well as disputes. The video on YouTube promoting PayPal's on and off ramp features includes a screenshot of its interfaces showing a user sending about $50 worth of Bitcoin to an external wallet with a $5 network fee and a $2 transaction fee. The video doesn't specify what wallet was used for the transaction, and it's also worth noting that MetaMask doesn't support Bitcoin transactions on the original Bitcoin blockchain. That's a big factor. PayPal did not immediately respond to a request for comment, but their latest rollout comes shortly after. PayPal partnered with major hardware wallet firm Ledger to provide a new on-ramp integration into August 2023, allowing verified PayPal users in the United States to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin directly on the Ledger hardware wallet via its native Ledger Live software. And as previously reported, MetaMask started rolling out Ether purchases via PayPal for users in the US earlier this year, back in May. MetaMask's parent company, Consensus, and PayPal initially partnered to enable e-transactions in late 2022. So there you have it. How many of you have ever used PayPal for any crypto-related transactions? Me personally, I don't trust them. I don't trust MetaMask or anything that they're doing. If I was to buy Bitcoin, and I was forced to use the PayPal, you know what I mean, services, I would immediately self-custody that crypto before something can turn south, because I don't know. Do you trust PayPal? They've been around for a long time. The one silver lining in this story, PayPal is going to help usher in mass adoption, because there's something like 500 million freaking users who use PayPal on a regular basis, meaning active users. That's a population larger than the United States. So I can see how this can help usher in that mass adoption. But at the end of the day, PayPal is just one of many ways to acquire and trade cryptocurrency. So it is what it is. Let me know your honest thoughts, fam. And now let's break down our next story of the day and discuss a potential Santa Claus rally incoming, shall we? Let's go. Let's make it a Merry Christmas, shouldn't we? A prominent crypto venture capitalist believes the digital asset market will likely rally around Christmas time after a tough start to September. We have Chris Bernzik, the founder of Placeholder Capital, telling his almost 300,000 followers on X in his recent prediction of a possible upside surprise breakout in crypto is no longer valid in the near term. He is now predicting a Santa Claus rally, which is a financial term used to describe a calendar effect on traditional equities that historically have gone up on the last 5 market trading days of the year in December and the first 2 trading days of the new year. Quoting the analyst here, upside surprise got faded. Looks likely that we get September puke. Santa Claus rally, first rate cut in the first half of 2024, leading into elections. And though risk assets will catch relief from the changing of rate and liquidity tides, crypto would benefit majorly from some big election wins. And according to the crypto investor, the digital assets market will experience price volatility, but eventually enter into the bullish cycle, which we all know is inevitable. I mean, Bitcoin exists on these 4-year cyclical cycles, right? Quoting him again, patience, though the markets are capricious and many variables outside of crypto's control, building and development of blockchains is up and to the right. Bernzik also says that the crypto bull cycle will require an increase in global market liquidity after it has contracted, which was likely the cause of the correction in the digital asset space. Quoting him again, smaller narratives always pop up to explain markets, but don't lose sight of the larger core drivers. Now, the placeholder executive also said that previously that private investors will likely start investing in the space more once the crypto market starts to flash signs of strength again. So the $1 million question, when do you feel this market is likely to flash those signs of strength once again? Holla at your boy. Now let's break down our next story of the day. I got back-to-back $100,000 plus Bitcoin price predictions. First one is more specifically focused around the Bitcoin halving, which we know is scheduled to be sometime in April of 2024. Then the latest from the eToro CEO predicting the Bitcoin price to shatter that six-figure prediction. And then we'll wrap up and do our live Q&A. And again, welcome to everyone just joining us. Make sure to say hello in that live chat. Don't be a stranger, fam. Executives from prominent mining and manufacturing firms believe that market forces resulting from the fourth Bitcoin halving scheduled in 2024 can force the Bitcoin price past $100,000. Well, send it and let's freaking go. Magazine editor Andrew Fenton spoke to Canon's vice president following a panel discussion at Canon's Avalon Bitcoin and Crypto Day in Singapore. Shout out to Singapore. He said on the panel, which included Bitcoin mining ecosystem executives from Singapore, Kazakhstan, as well as the United Arab Emirates, all offering Bitcoin price predictions of around $100,000 next year in 2024, resulting from the effects of the latest Bitcoin mining reward halving. Now, how many of you agree with that analyst and these other analysts that the Bitcoin price is likely to shatter the current all-time high of 69,000 next year, considering we're only a few months away from 2024, fam? Can you feel the excitement in the air? Let me know your honest thoughts. And again, I'll read those out loud in a little bit. He told Cointelegraph that the supply of Bitcoin would be drastically reduced with the halving reward down to 6.25 Bitcoin per block, while traditional financial institutions are showing increased interest in investing in the sector. Quoting him here, what about BlackRock? They are holding on to $10 trillion of assets under management. The overall crypto market cap is $2 trillion. No, actually, the overall crypto market cap is only $1 trillion, fam, just FYI. So they have more than 5 times on that. In fact, they have 10 times the current crypto market cap. The Bitcoin market cap right now is only $500 billion, with Bitcoin sitting just above 500 billion or in that range. Now, the Canaan VP said his prediction was heavily influenced by the outcome of a number of Bitcoin exchange traded fund apps, which we know as ETFs, lodged with the US SEC by some of the world's largest asset managers. This money will come in. The Bitcoin demand will increase while the supply has decreased and the price will increase. That's right. It's all based on stock to flow, supply, demand. So when there is a limited scarcity, you know what I mean? There's a limited supply, there's a finite limited supply of Bitcoin, and we have a strong demand with an incoming supply shock. What's going to happen to the price? You do the math because you already know. That's all it is. Don't overcomplicate this. Bitcoin is perfect money with a finite limited supply. There is massive demand, which is going to continue to grow, making Bitcoin the most scarce asset we have ever seen. And it's the first time in the history of money we have a currency with a finite limited supply, which is uncorruptible, unconfiscatable, borderless, and the list goes on and on and on. Just saying. So he also noted that it had become difficult for most miners to continue operating in highly competitive market conditions, with all-time hash rates and network difficulties directly eating into the miners' profitability. Now, those who could not cover electricity costs with the Bitcoin mining rewards earn with simply shut off of those machines, while those who continue operating will do so with a view of potential upside ahead for the 2024 halving. Survival of the fittest. Only the strong survive, I like to say. Miners who can upgrade to more efficient and powerful machines are able to maintain better profitability. Common sense, right? He also predicts that mining companies in the US might be particularly hard-pressed given high electricity administrative costs. That's right. Some places in the United States, it's extremely pricey to be mining any BTC. He also conceded that Canaan was among the industry companies to have reported a financial loss in the first quarter of this year in 2023, highlighting the impact of a prolonged crypto bear market. So there you have it, fam. I mean, what are your honest thoughts? Do you feel we're likely to break out and smash that six-figure price target by the year 2024? Also got to throw out there, don't forget, here in Puerto Rico, where I reside, I've been talking about this for years. Once the Bitcoin price hits that six-figure mark, we're going to be having a $100,000 Bitcoin fiesta here in my backyard of Puerto Rico. You're all invited. I highly encourage you to join our Discord server for crypto news alerts and plug into the 100K Fiesta channel. You can find it at discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. And let's freaking go. And now for the moment you have all been waiting for. This is our featured story of the day. The eToro CEO was just recently interviewed in a podcast and is ultimately predicting a $100,000 plus Bitcoin price. In fact, he says Bitcoin is going to shatter this particular target. So let's break this down. Here you go. CEO of the investment platform eToro believes that Bitcoin is still on track to blast above $100,000 despite the recent price drop. Also like to throw out there, X is somehow partnered with eToro, because now when you go, for example, you type in Bitcoin, you can see the price chart right there on the X platform, and I believe you can even start purchasing Bitcoin now using the X platform. So there's some sort of JV or partnership between eToro and X. Just wanted to lay that out for you. In a new interview with crypto trader Scott Melker in the Wolf of Wall Streets, we have Yoni Asia. Hope I'm pronouncing the name right. He says Bitcoin will likely to start gathering bullish momentum towards the end of the year. And guess what? We're kind of already in the end of the year, right? According to the eToro exec, Bitcoin will likely print a new all-time high by the end of 2024. Quoting him here, at the end of 2024 is when you'll start seeing rallies and you start gradually seeing something going to $50,000 and then back to $40,000 and then to $70,000 only when it reaches all-time highs, which is somewhere probably at the end of next year. Only when it reaches all-time highs, that's when the retail investors come back. So he's ultimately predicting new all-time highs at the end of next year. Now he also is looking at the halving cycles of Bitcoin. The eToro CEO says the Bitcoin tends to witness strong surges a year after the halving, and the current cycle should not be different. And I think he makes a great point, because like clockwork, the year of the halving, we start to get the bullishness, but it's the year preceding the halving, we hit the all-time high, just like we did in 2021 after the 2020 halving, and just like we did in 2017 after the 2016 halving, and also for the cycles before, pretty much like clockwork, you know what I mean? How many of you have experienced prior Bitcoin halving cycles and you've been in the game for at least 4 years? Please do let me know. I also want to share this statistic. Every long-term hodler who has been hodling Bitcoin for 4 years or longer is in the green. So the name of the game is to hodl for the long haul, because there's 4-year cyclical cycles, and it's really as simple as that. But anyways, quoting the eToro CEO here, in theory, the bull run should actually be in 2025, the same as it was in 2021, 2017, and 2013. That's the cycle. Now there is a very famous saying, history does not repeat itself, but it sure damn rhymes. So I would be surprised if we don't see a rally in 2025. I'd be surprised if we don't see by the end of 2025 Bitcoin above at least $100,000 per coin. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analyst. Now, the Bitcoin halving, which slashes the Bitcoin miners' rewards in half, is slated for April 2024. And if you do the math, that's roughly only 6 months out. And to watch this video interview he did with Scott Melker on the Wolf of Wall Streets podcast entitled Bitcoin Will Surpass $100,000 in 2025, check the show notes below the video in the description. Now let's discuss this a little more in detail. How likely can the Bitcoin price realistically hit 100,000? There's some analysts right now that are still faithful it can happen this year in 2023, which means before these other analysts are predicting. In fact, Max Kaiser made a prediction on New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2022. I covered it in yesterday's episode. If you missed it, go back and check it out. And he ultimately made the prediction that the Bitcoin price would hit $100,000 this year. Now, lo and behold, we're currently only at roughly 26,000. We'd have to go up by a factor of roughly 400% to hit that target. But what if everyone writes Bitcoin off? They're like, the fourth quarter of 2023 is going to be the worst. Just expect it. And then the market does the complete opposite. Everyone thinks they got Bitcoin figured out. Boom. Bitcoin does its own thing, because Bitcoin is on its own vector, and then we smash it. How would that likely impact the Bitcoin halving and the price action moving into next year? Let me know your honest thoughts. Also, I like to throw out there that Plan B, creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow model, is predicting as well a price target for BTC between $100,000 and $1 million per coin post halving. Now, granted, that's a very wide gap for a prediction, but hey, even worst case scenario, $100,000 Bitcoin, that's 4 times the current price action. Not too shabby. I also like to throw out there, as Michael Saylor likes to pinpoint, Bitcoin has been going up and appreciating by a factor of 200% per year since the inception of Bitcoin roughly 14 years ago. I don't think that is personally going to change anytime soon, but let me know your honest thoughts, fam. Now for our live chat. Massive shout out to everyone out here. I know you can feel the excitement in my spirit and my voice right now. I feel the vibes, fam. I'm feeling it. I couldn't be more bullish right now. Shout out to Nate. Shout out to Daniel Jackson. Shout out to Bitcoin Trini. Shout out to Baz Dragon. Shout out to Ambrosia, Mr. Still Stacking, Statwise Janks, and the entire crypto fam. Shout out to Digital Dankness. Shout out to Bitcoin Maximus. Shout out to Hodl Mike 73. What's good in the hood? What's good? Hodl Mike, how you doing? Baz Dragon, appreciate you tuning in from the UK or Japan, wherever you're at today. He says, I am good. I just finished cutting a new floor for my living room, and yesterday I bought that frickin' dip. So constructive days. Massive congratulations. Everyone give it up for Baz for stacking those stats and making the smart decision for the future generations to come. It looks like you've had a good day too. Yeah, yesterday and today I've had fantastic days. You can probably sense it in my spirit and in my vibes right now, if you know what I'm saying. All the best to JV. Thank you, Doug Joseph. That means the world to me. And a quick reminder, if you got value out of today's episode, the greatest freaking compliment you can do for me and for the Crypto News Alerts fam and for this entire movement, simply smash the like button. It's free to do so. It costs you absolutely nothing. So please smash that like button. Yes, you got to be signed in to do so. If you're on YouTube, sign in on YouTube, smash the like. It helps out tremendously. Communicate in the live chat, or if you're watching after the live, communicate in the main comment section. And the same goes for you watching on Rumble right now, as I stream simultaneous on both Rumble and YouTube every single day. Also, please help support the new channel. It's clips.cryptonewsalerts.net. It's blowing, and I think it's going to help us reach the 100,000 subscriber milestone, which is my goal, and to eventually hit 1 million subs. So my goal is the race is on. We have a Bitcoin halving in the next 6 months, roughly, right? Sometime April of 2024. My personal goal is to get this channel to 100,000 plus subscribers. Can you help me make this happen? Do you know my channel was probably shadow banned years ago? Because 2 years ago, I was just looking and reminiscing. I have videos getting 30 to 40,000 views. Now, 2 years later, more subscribers than I've ever had, and my videos are only getting a few thousand views. So can this be we're up against the forces of evil? I don't know. But if I can get your support and we can get to 100,000 subs, it's going to be a good thing for all of us. So again, I appreciate that. And don't forget to join our Discord. It's discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. Now for some Q&A. I know we got a great question that came in from Digital Dankness in the Discord server. We have a Ask a Question channel in our Discord server. And let's check out what that question is as I pull this up. And feel free to ask me anything as well, fam. So Dankness asks, is there a direct correlation between the quantity of Bitcoin wallets and the perceived value, potentially leading to increased investors? Here's an answer from one of our very own inside the chat. Waxel said there is something called Metcalfe's law, which essentially values a network based on its users. Don't think it is an actual direct correlation to the price, though. Just acts as a way for investors to value a network. I calculated it for Bitcoin a few weeks back, and it was sitting at $48,000. Metcalfe's law valuation may be different today. Great insights, and I believe the Bitcoin fair value right now is also in that ballpark of roughly $48,000 per coin. If you were to give a fair value on Bitcoin right now, what would it be? I know if I had to give a fair value, it'd be nowhere near 26,000. That's why I'm saying this is such a discount. You just got to take advantage of it. I'd say fair value closer to 50,000 in my humble opinion. But what are your thoughts, fam? And I'll read all your thoughts out loud. Chris Minka, what's up? Jack Jiong, massive shout out. There is no second best. Thank you for the reminder. Denver Hodl, that's absolutely right. You're the best of the crypto news channel, just so you know. I mean, I appreciate that. I'm not going to let that go to my head. I'm just doing my damn job. Just spreading the word and holy gospel of Satoshi as we do each and every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, here on Crypto News Alerts. On the treadmill again, orange pill to JV and the fam. Massive shout out to Satwise Janks, taking his health and fitness very serious. That's what it's all about. I mean, what good is wealth without health? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I had limit bids filled to 24.9, but I had to reload. Who else is BTFD? Asked Chris Minka. If you took advantage of this recent dip, please do let us know. Share it, and we'll celebrate you as well. Dollar cost average Bitcoin no alt. Good afternoon, JV and Crypto News Alerts fam, tuning in from Clearwater, Florida. Looking forward to all the news. Greatly appreciate your show. You are phenomenal and a very smart young man. Thank you, because sometimes I feel like an old man with all these gray hairs peeking through on my beard, but I still feel young 100%. Much love, much respect. Maximus in the building. Let's go. Brian Reed, keep doing your thing, JV. 100,000 is coming no matter what. Guaranteed. It's a mathematical certainty. The only question, when I think it's most likely going to happen next year in 2024. But what are your thoughts, fam? Just curious, JV, how long does it take every day to prepare for your show? Thank you for your dedication and education coming from Ashley. Appreciate you tuning in, Ashley. If I told you guys, a lot of you probably wouldn't even believe it. I can spend anywhere from 5 to 8 hours a day preparing a single show. 5 to 8 hours per day preparing one single show, which is typically less than an hour. I put everything into this. Real talk, fam. Now I got to take a shot of some water, so I'm a little dehydrated. But yeah, I put everything into this because this is everything to me. You know what I mean? The goal, continue to do what I do, keep growing, and become the #1 Bitcoin podcast in the world. Right now, I can say with confidence, we are the #1 daily Bitcoin podcast, especially when it comes to live, because there's no one else out there doing a show 7 days a week, including on freaking holidays, who has been as consistent as me, as I've been doing this for 4 years, virtually every single day. So yeah, I invest a lot of time, a lot of energy, but I feel it's worth it because it's getting the word out, and we're continuing to grow, and we'll continue to be the #1 Bitcoin podcast in the world. And yeah, that's what it's all about. So I appreciate the support, and that's an excellent question, Ashley. Thank you for asking. I mean, if I didn't put the time into the show, you'd be able to tell. I wouldn't be prepared. There wouldn't be the stories. I mean, it could take, and it's just a little breakdown. It may take me 2 hours to find the best stories that I can compile. It could take me another hour or two to transcribe some really good predictions that I learned that aren't already transcribed, because I want to find you information not already on the internet. Oftentimes, I'll share with you predictions where there's no article where I can just easily find it and read it, but I have to actually create it myself. I actually do that sometimes. It may take me 2 hours to draft and construct a very appealing thumbnail to make sure that people click on it. All these little things take up a lot of time, but I'm not a one-man show. I got people behind me who are even smarter than myself, you know what I mean? Including people who are helping tremendously, like Digital Dankness. We have moderators. So it's the entire fam. I got to show respect and support too. And I couldn't really do this without you guys. And if you really think about it, if we didn't have the support and the family the way we do here in the chat, this would just be another show like everyone else. But we have a community. That's why I highly encourage you to plug into the community. Join us on discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. Plug in, say hello, and let's get this party started. $100,000 fiesta. Who's coming with me? Let's go. Bjorn, BCY, cheers from Cyprus. Evan Rivero, Pur Vita, fam, welcome. Baz, welcome. Mr. Still Stacking in the building. MM, love Cyprus. Renee Monteguero, one last dump is days away. Renee, you've been preaching about that one last dump for the last 3 years, just saying. But I appreciate you, fam. Sup, JV and Crypto News Alerts fam, driving home from the fiat mine and listening closely. Thank you, Mick Lovin. And a quick reminder as well, maybe you didn't know, but I show these episodes, not the video format. Video format can pretty much only be found on YouTube or Rumble, maybe another community or two I can't think of, maybe on X, etc. But to listen to the audio side, which we consider the genuine podcast, we are on iTunes, we are on Spotify. We've had the live show since the inception of the first episode. Today is episode 1399. Since episode 1, we've also been sharing these on iTunes, on Spotify, but the only place to find them live is on YouTube or Rumble. So if you want to watch live and participate in the video and the interaction of the live chat, you got to join us on either YouTube or Rumble. If you want to just listen to the audio because maybe you're driving or on a treadmill and you don't care about the visual or the video and you missed the live, I highly encourage you to join us on iTunes and Spotify. Those are the platforms you can find Crypto News Alerts each and every day. Fam, hope you're having a blessed day, JV. 100% feeling so blessed right now. Where does the Fed keep their money? In a debasement, says one Glenn Coe. That's the joke of the day right there. What's up from Orange County, California, says K-Jam. Always watching. Shout out to California. I got a lot of California love because I spent a few years in California growing up. My old stomping grounds was Solvang. If you ever heard of that little Dutch town, please do let me know. Manchester, UK in the building. Shout out to all my peeps over there. JV, what's up? What's good? Sup, all the bit bros. Here is the chi. Bring that internal chi power. I see where you're coming from. Punchy Coffee 20, what it do? Let's go Bitcoin fam, says Matthew. Welcome, Matthew. Yeehaw. I made the show live today. Let's make it a good one, says Nate. Hope I did you some justice with that yeehaw. A0, what up, Root PT? What's good? What up, what up? I BTFD'd yesterday, says Baz. Congratulations, Baz. What's cracking, fam? Checking in from Japan, smashing that like button. Massive respect to all my peoples over in Japan. What's that Japanese ice cream treat you get at a Japanese restaurant? I forget what it's called, but it's like the most delicious dessert I've ever had in my life. I went to a very fancy Japanese restaurant one time, you know, where you like sit on a pillow on the floor type thing. Because I think I was in Thailand or something like that. And they had the most delicious dessert. And there was like Japanese ice cream, they said. I'm just like, this is the best thing I've ever had. I miss it so much. If you guys know the name of it, let me know. Please remind me. I'm sure you know if you live in Japan. Stack those sats, people, says relaxing meditation music. Johnny Bravo, are there any trusted companies in the UK that I can lend against my Bitcoin, or should I just sell? That's an excellent question to do some research on. If anyone knows offhand, please do let Johnny Bravo know. And even if you find some choices, do a lot of research into it. There's a lot of scam companies out there that can take your crypto and take your assets and take your collateral, and you just, who do you trust? Trust nobody, verify everything. That's the motto, fam. 2 million Bitcoin on the exchanges, 8.1 billion people, 26 million millionaires, 52 billion in fiat value of the Bitcoin on the exchanges. Get it while you can, fam. Preach, Matthew, 100%. Preach, you're speaking to my soul right now. Bottom been in for a long time, fam. Might get another dip, but it won't be below 20 ever again, in my opinion, says Matthew J. Let me know who agrees with Matthew. Welcome, $0G-Row. Shout out to Andy Surfer. Good morning. Appreciate you tuning in. Nate says, so that's what they mean when bottoms up. Everyone thinks it's a drinking term, but turns out it's a trading term. The bottom and then up. Bottoms up. Never thought of it that way. Good insights, fam. Yo, was shocked and disappointed when you disappeared from YouTube. So grateful that you returned. Yeah, for those that don't know, I got terminated from YouTube for roughly 11 days. And it sucked. I thought I was permanently terminated because that's what they told me. But they reinstated my channel and said they made a mistake. Honestly, I don't think I would have ever received my channel back, but because our community made such a freaking uproar, they had no choice but to give me my channel back because we weren't accepting it, right? Every single day, we had hundreds of people tagging YouTube and YouTube support saying, yo, get JV his channel back. He didn't violate anything. There's no dangerous videos or harmful videos violating any YouTube policy. Then we had some of the biggest influencers, including Max Kaiser, including Invest Answers, including the one and only, he has like 1.5 million followers on freaking on X. What's the name of that account? I think it's BTC Archive. He stood up for me and we had just so much pushback. I felt like they had no option but to give it back. Otherwise, we'd only be on Rumble right now. But we got the YouTube channel back. All is well. We'll see how long that lasts for. But that's why it's so important. You'll also follow me on Rumble as a backup, just in case something were to happen here. Because tomorrow is not promised on any social network, especially in today's crazy day and age. So make sure you're subscribed to the Clips channel. I need your support there. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel if you're not, and make sure you're also subscribed and following on Rumble and that you're plugged in inside our Discord. So regardless what happens, we'll always have a platform to preach the Bitcoin news on a daily basis. Nobody can stop that. I've learned my lesson. I'll never put all my eggs in one social media basket. Makes no freaking sense. It gives them too much power. They don't deserve our power. They don't deserve our trust. So this is just one of many platforms, and I truly feel that way. Yeah, it has been years since I used PayPal. Back then, they only allowed a limited amount of withdrawals every 24-hour period. I hated that policy and canceled. I wonder if that policy still applies. I'd never liked them or trust them. They froze several of my accounts over the years for no good logical reason, and it took 6 months for me to even be able to withdraw the funds from my account. So I said I never trust PayPal. I'll never do business with them again. I don't trust them. I don't like what they stand for, and I think they're shady mofos, and they don't deserve our trust because their track record speaks for itself, but that's just me. Just saying. The cost of a PayPal transaction is $2.50 USD. Yes, sir. Digital Maniac. What's good? Hurry up and get those cheap stats while you still can. 100%. We got a Bitcoin halving around the corner. If you guys aren't getting ready for that, I don't know what in the world you'd be getting ready for. Key Regis. What's up? Ben Silva, Montreal. Shout out to all my Canadian fam. What up? Took a small loan from 401k to buy some Bitcoin at these low prices. I have a 5-year time horizon. The easiest transaction ever. Massive congratulations. You get it, Digital Maniac. If you're going to invest in Bitcoin, it should be for the long haul. Anyone thinking this is just a short-term gain and get rich quick, you're missing the entire boat completely. So this is a long-term investment. You got to have at least a 4-year horizon because, again, what does the past show us? It shows us that every single hodler who purchased Bitcoin and held it for at least 4 years is in the green. So you're basically making your ability to make profits that much more easier. Some people get in the game and they're like, I just want to buy at the low and sell high at the halving. Good luck with that one. Good luck not getting wrecked, because that's what happens. People get too greedy. They think they're smarter than the market, but I guarantee you the market makers are a lot smarter than you. Bitcoin's on its own vector. It doesn't care what you think at the end of the day. It doesn't care what I think. It doesn't care what anyone thinks. It's going to do its thing. And it's going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to appreciate by a factor of 200% per year. That's what history has shown us. Why would I expect anything different? You know what I mean? Let me know if you guys can relate. 100%. Says Maniac. I would much prefer Bitcoin shatter the current all-time high this year in anticipation. Not next. Just saying. I think we can all agree there, except for those that don't have a big enough bag yet. You're like, please stay low. Please stay low for 2 more years. Let me keep stacking. I didn't pack enough. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, I'm packing stats at the back of the ack. Just saying. Smashing stats, packing a Mac in the back of the ack, stacking stats. It's a factual fact. Hey. Some tongue twisters for you, fam. Peter Dunworth, calling for a $7 billion Bitcoin makes me feel bearish. I was only thinking 10 milli. I understand where you're coming from, Matthew. God bless him. This is it. Party time. Nate, you coming? Who's coming to the $100,000 fiesta? Let us know. Claim it. You know what I mean? Claim that now. Heard about it. Kind of cool. Maximus says $100,000 party in Costa Rica. I'm in. Yo, I'm also down for a Costa Rica Pura Vida 100,000 party, but we talking Puerto Rico when I say it. Just FYI, I'm not in Costa Rica. Yeah, I've lived in Costa Rica. I spent several years in Costa Rica. Costa Rica is one of my favorite countries. I love it. I love playing with the monkeys and the trees and the jungles of Costa Rica. I love ziplining in Costa Rica. I like the microclimates of Costa Rica. There's not much to hate on in Costa Rica, but just saying, I live in Puerto Rico. So the $100,000 fiesta is in Puerto Rico. But hey, if anyone wants to host a party in Costa Rica, we'll go party hopping. Let's make it a country thing. We'll make it a country affair. We'll start in Puerto Rico, then we'll go to Costa Rica, then we'll go to El Salvador, and we'll continue hopping around the world. How's that sound? Let me know. I can't wait for your first halving, Baz. Massive congratulations. Just pay no attention to the FUD. You're going to have a lot of mainstream media trying to make it seem like Bitcoin's going to collapse and go to zero and be worth nothing. Meanwhile, it's going to soar, and it's going to mislead a lot of investors. You're going to get things like Kramer telling you, dump your Bitcoin now. It's going to zero. I just never been so bearish on cryptocurrency until now. And then lo and behold, inverse Kramer, we soar to the moon. It's just the nature of the way it is, fam. Daniel Jackson, imagine the smells. Word. You talking about the smells from the cells? Or what are you referring to? In 2020, I bought call options on Riot, a Bitcoin miner, right? Stock. When it was about $5. A few weeks ago, I later sold it at 11. So proud of 100% profit so fast, only to see it exceed $60 within months. Damn. Wow. Well, you can't beat yourself up too much. No one can time the market perfectly. You made a gain, you got in, you got out. You had to do what you had to do. So congratulations, you won. You beat the game. What most people are incapable of doing. So I'd be celebrating, fam. If we get an ETF this year, then the Bitcoin halving and money printing in 2024, it will break all TA. The normies will use stimmy checks to buy the Bitcoin ETF. Wouldn't that be something? How ironic. Let's freaking go. You always have good vibes, JV. Thank you, Chris D. Appreciate that. Congrats, Baz. Nice move. Let's go. Barry Lindert in the building says, fam, JV, up to 100,000. Shout out to Holland. Beautiful place to be. Double D, what up? If you're here and stacking stats, you already won, fam. You just have to wait. Lankaviga. How do I pronounce this name? Lan Akaviva. What's your guys' opinion on stacking? Should I go all in now while 26 opportunity is still here, or wait till midnight, go down again? Probably going to go up for the latter, but curious what y'all say. So what are your thoughts, fam? Let's ask the chat. What advice can you give her asking right now? Should she buy, basically start stacking and go all in right now? Or should she wait? I personally think the safest way to do it is dollar cost average. You don't have to invest every penny you have at any one time or moment unless you're just that confident to get in and get your position. For example, if you have a 10-year plus time horizon, I don't see any downside of going all in now at 26,000 if you've done your homework, if you're willing to invest that, and hypothetically, if it went to zero, it's not going to destroy you and your family's life. Basic investing 101. So if you've done your homework, you believe in the asset, and you're not going to be selling it over the course of the next two halvings, frickin' go all in, right? But it's a decision you have to make. The average person would probably think, maybe I'll buy a portion now, just in case it goes up, I have a position, and I don't have to be on the sidelines and miss the boat altogether. Kind of like Noah's Ark. You wish you were on the ark. Those who missed it could never get back on it, right? Same concept here. So maybe you get a position now, and if the price drops lower, you buy a little more, and you continue to dollar cost average over time. But what are your thoughts, chat? Let us know. Any sage advice for her would be much appreciated. 12,000 forever. What is this, Wakanda? Kevin, I don't know about all that. With the current price suppression in at least 2x what it do now, 100%. I mean, we're going to at least 2x from the previous all-time high. That's a given. Done deal. So 69,000 is the current all-time high. We hit it in November of 2021, right? So that means $138,000 Bitcoin price is inevitable for this cycle. I don't know if it'll happen this year. Honestly, don't know. I don't know if it'll happen in 2024, but I believe by the year 2025, it's inevitable. And that's extremely conservative. Again, stock to flow model is showing a price corridor between $100,000 and $1 million, right? We have Kathy Wood predicting her bullish case within the next 7 years, $1 million per coin. Her bear case, still over $250,000 per coin. Her base case, still over $600,000 per coin. And I think she's a smart cookie. What are your thoughts, fam? Let me know. My Bitcoin ethic is through the roof. Word up. Let's go. JV should interview other podcasters or influencers. That would tremendously help the growth. I know I kind of just lazy doing things my own way and on my own accord. I understand that, and I appreciate the insights and the feedback. Something to really consider. I listen on Spotify. Well, massive shout out. I appreciate you tuning in on Spotify. It means the world to me. I am very late. Hi, guys. Hi, Ellen. Welcome. Enjoy that replay. I appreciate you tuning in live, fam. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What's new? Good afternoon to you, too. All and everyone here. California here. I come to the Pacific Bitcoin in 2022 days, says the Coin Father. Shout out to Coin Father. Love you doing your thing and orange pilling others and doing God's work, as I call it. JV, what do you think about the 22 million people has one Bitcoin? I don't know what you mean by that, but obviously 22 million people can never be whole coiners because there can only ever be 21 million in Bitcoin, right? That's the finite limited supply created in the mathematics. You know what I mean? So if you think about it, there's like over 50 million millionaires in the entire planet Earth. So not even half the millionaires in the world could be considered a whole coiner. This, my friend, is a fact. So not everyone's going to be able to be a whole coiner, but hey, it's better to be a 0.1 BTC hodler than a 0 BTC hodler. So I would start stacking sats and work towards that goal, because anyone still has the time and opportunity if they put their pedal to the metal and get on it, right? And do whatever you got to do to get some sats. You probably have a realistic opportunity right now to become a whole coiner. I can't say that same statement in 2 years, fam. I'm going to say it's probably going to be a lot more difficult to become a whole coiner in 2 years, because again, the price action will surpass $100,000. So what you can buy now for $26,000 and consider a whole coiner will cost you $100,000, and it's just going to continuously go up over time. And again, a lot of you are going to be on the sidelines praying we hit a new all-time low and miss out and then just never get back in the game. And I'd hate for any of you to be that person on the sidelines. So get your position or forever hold your peace. Sushi and oh, that's it. Mochi, M-O-C-H-I. That's the ice cream, fam. Please send me some. Would be my dessert island food of choice. It is so freaking good, fam. I know Solvang. Used to live in Lompoc. My old stomping grounds, fam. Yeah. Wow. My parents owned a sports bar in a very popular place that a lot of the celebs in that area would go to, including peeps like Michael Jackson back when he was alive, people like Jimmy Connors, tennis player who is world-renowned. a lot of people lived in that area, and we had a very popular spot. It was a lot of fun. And so I'm curious if you guys, this is back when I was in like third grade, fourth grade. So this is a long, long time ago, but it brings back a lot of memories. I remember the best pea soup place in the world, Pea Soup Anderson's. It was famous in Solvang. I remember it like yesterday. I'd go there all the time. Just a lot of cool things to do in that town. I miss it, honestly. Green tea ice cream is pretty good. 100%. I love it. Let's freaking go. Let's go. Bring it. Send it. Go doesn't sound quite as good as go, or good, are you saying? I don't even know. Yeah, it should be long haul as you buy and never sell. Once you are 10x or more in the green, then go borrow against your hodlings. That's exactly the point that Michael Saylor brought up. There's gonna be no advantages to ever selling, right? Especially when this is mainstream with institutional adoption from all of the banks. It would just make no sense ever to sell when you can just borrow against it and keep the asset. You know what I mean? JV spitting bars, something like that. I don't know what I was doing, but to make lots of Bitcoin, buy some tiny alts, says Ellen. Yeah, that's a strategy. You know what I mean? I think a lot of altcoiners, their main goal is to accumulate more Bitcoin, and they feel, yo, Bitcoin's expensive, I can't afford it, but I can afford all these alts. And if these alts perform, I'll be able to dump it into Bitcoin. But here's the reality. If Bitcoin doesn't perform as you're anticipating, your alts are guaranteed to get wrecked. It's a guarantee. So if anyone is only betting on altcoins and betting against Bitcoin, like shorting Bitcoin, but you're longing the altcoins, you're really just shooting yourself in the foot. It makes no sense. It's idiotic, because Bitcoin, if it gets suppressed or something happens, the altcoins are doomed. They're all going to get wrecked, 100% of them. You know what I mean? However, if Bitcoin rises, you know, a rising tide rises all ships. Altcoins are going to come along for the ride. So you got to consider that as well. You know what I mean? So kind of look at it from both sides. Nostalgic, 100,000, send it. Let's freaking go. Oh my God, I love monkeys. That's right. In Costa Rica, I got it on video. You can just walk up to the monkeys and put some food in your hand, and they'll open your hand and, you know, take the treat. It's so cute. My daughter and I were feeding the monkeys, doing a lot of cool stuff. I love Costa Rica. It's a beautiful place to be. How many of you have been to Costa Rica? Let me know. There was a rap song back in the day. I think it was AZ and Nas, and there was a verse from Sugar Hill, and it's like, I just want to chill out in Costa Rica so I can smoke my reefer and enjoy how life's supposed to treat ya. And those bars were embedded into the unconsciousness of my brain. So as soon as I became old enough and got a passport, I'm like, I'm relocating to Costa Rica so I can smoke my reefer and enjoy how life's supposed to treat ya. And I did that for years and had a fantastic time. Smash that like button. Thank you, Digital. Appreciate that. Bobby Digi was good. Sure, I think I'll buy one and send the ice house and then keep going. Word up for show. DCA, dollar cost average is the advice. I think that's sage advice. It would only make sense in my humble opinion. I do never go all in. I always DCA into more sats, says Volkman, smart man, because who knows how much lower we can drop. Again, don't try to time the bottom. You're more than likely going to be wrong. But if you dollar cost average, you're protecting yourself overall because you're averaging it out. FTX drops crypto to 13,900. No, please say no. I mean, we covered in yesterday's episode that there is billions of dollars on FTX's balance sheet, which they're going to have to liquidate to pay the creditors and all of their debts. But there's also caveats. They can only sell so much per month. So it's not going to impact the market. A lot of the FUDsters believe it's going to. Like, I personally don't see that crash in the market to a new all-time low. But what are your thoughts? And I think the same with Mt. Gox. I think there's some protections in there to where they can't dump the entire, for example, Bitcoin holdings or Solana or FTT scam coin or whatever it is all in one shot, so it doesn't destroy or wreck the market. You know what I mean? Just Kiva is my name. Oh, that's so much easier. Kiva, thank you. Yeah, that's why I put as much as I could already, thinking about copping a loan or deal to go more. OPM, other people's money. Smart. I think so. It's my savings account. I leave little in the bank as I don't trust the banks. Amen. Just say no to banking. I believe we hit 20,000 and go up, says God420. What a great username. Shout out to God and shout out to 420. Just saying. Y'all need to remember that FTX only held one Bitcoin, and people gave one Bitcoin buy, or 1 billion to buy a Bitcoin. That is a huge amount of price suppression last bull. 100%. You make a great point. 3x is most likely too, says Nostalgic. Word up. Well, 3x, let's run the math. What's 69,000 times 3? 138 plus 70, that's over 200,000 per coin. So send it, let's friggin' go. How would your life change if Bitcoin hit 200,000 per coin? Holla at your boy, right? Maybe you'll be relocating next to me in my neighborhood here in Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? FTX will sell crypto 13.9. I don't know about all that. Hell, with Bitcoin left, there's not enough for them to even have one. That's right. They don't have 500 million in Bitcoin unless a private party gave it to them. Somehow they claim to have it on their balance sheet. So yeah, like 500 billion worth of Bitcoin claims FTX, according to the story I shared yesterday. Tony Jeffries in the fucking building. Liverpool, stand up. What up? Shout out to all the whole coiners. Shout out to all the long-term hodlers and all the Bitcoin OGs. What's good? Shout out to all the legends. Shout out to the entire chat. Appreciate y'all. Pump then, no dump. When they collapsed, they had 1 Bitcoin. Talking about FTX, Matthew. I thought it was hilarious that I had as much Bitcoin as a crypto company with a $7 billion valuation. Isn't that ironic? Yeah, I mean, this podcast has just jump-started my hustle mode. I really do appreciate you. I appreciate you too. Thanks for your support. Remember, owning a quarter Bitcoin, you will be a part of the top 5% Bitcoin hodlers. Preach. Any amount of Bitcoin is better than none. So even if it's $5, start stacking those sats. Do what you can now before it's too late. FTX has 300 million worth of Bitcoin, 500 million worth of USDC. What do you think the USDC will turn into when they sell it? USD or Bitcoin? FTX liquidating is bullish. BlackRock is a major stakeholder coming from Cushy04. Shout out to Kush. I love myself some Kush, just saying. Just forget about it. Dollar cost average forever, people, says Del Pillar. Sage advice. He stuck his butterfinger up at the Kit Kat and she let out a snicker. What? I'm getting punchy. Bitcoin just makes me happy. I'm glad that you're happy. Nate, shout out to Nate. Kaspa. Is that a cryptocurrency? I'm not too familiar with it. Let me know, Robert Marino, and welcome to the show. That's exactly right. And roughly 3 BTC, and you're a 1%er. So there you have it. You want to become a 1%er? Stack 3 Bitcoin. I believe in you guys. You can do it. Sup, JV? What up, Cryptic Sniper? Don't forget to smash that like button again, fam. It's the greatest compliment you can do. Only if you're getting value out of the show. If you don't like the show, for Christ's sake, don't smash that like button whatsoever. I was also born in Santa Barbara. Yeah, I live maybe 45 minutes from there. Wow. Zap says that's where also Michael Jackson lived, right? Oprah Winfrey, so many big people. Yeah, so Lompoc, I also lived in, oh, wow, I love sweet pea soup, Sweet Pea Andersons, and their bowls with the 2 guys on the bottom smacking each other on the head. Holy moly, what a small world we live in, fam. Bringing back so many memories. So my parents own the place called Rackety Rack. It was an old school diner, also Blondie's Diner. We also had a sports bar, an arcade, billiards, you name it. So if you were around Solving at that time, you must have been to our restaurant. Just saying. This is a long time ago, though, fam. Long time ago. I agree. The FTX liquidation will push Bitcoin up. The alts will feel the pain. 100%. I like Bitcoin Link and HODL for the long time, says Ellen. Shout out to Ellen. Good stuff. Ambrosia, what up? I like Bitcoin. Long-term hodl. Send it. Bitcoin sats and Satoshis for the long-term holds. You know it. Cushy says, I'm more of a maxi, but I do believe Ethereum has future ties to Bitcoin either way. With growing up poor, I am willing to risk holding my ETH because I am convinced with Bitcoin, either way, I will win. I understand exactly where your conviction is coming from, Cushy. Much love, much respect. And I want to see everything win. I want to see all the Ethereum hodlers become rich. I want to see all the Bitcoin hodlers be rich. I'd like to even see the XRP hodlers get rich. I actually have no enemies in crypto. I just like people winning, succeeding, getting wealthy. You know what I mean? That's what this is about. That's why we're all in crypto. It's an alternative way of life. So we don't have to work a job or a 9 to 5, making slave wages so we can be suppressed by the central bank freaking rulers of the world that are going to be shoving central bank digital currencies down our throat with an expiration date so that we have no hope of saving any wealth or fortune for our children. That's what this is about. So I just want to see people win at the end of the day. I honestly do feel at that same token, Bitcoin is the fastest horse in the race with the least risk, and you're least likely to get wrecked if you just invest into Bitcoin and hodl it for the long haul. I truly believe that. You know what I mean? I want to see everyone win in the space. I don't have enemies. My enemies are the central bankers. My enemies are the government that threw us overboard freaking, I don't know how many years ago, because it's been that long. You know what I mean? My enemy is the stupid public educational system, which is misleading our youth and teaching them things that adults shouldn't even be freaking, taught. I don't even want to get into that, but it's very clear the agenda on the planet is destroy people, starting with their education from a very young age, poison them with means I'm not even going to get into right now, and also poison them mentally, enslave them, make them feel hopeless, and then wreck them financially so that they have no freaking hope. Preach. There's a billion people. If you have less than 1 Bitcoin, you're 1%. Yeah, there's 7 billion people on this planet. Chat. It's the only horse. Yeah, it is. I wish I were a Bitcoin fish. Preach. Stat-wise, they don't want to teach us what we need to learn. Yeah, they don't want to see you thrive. It's not in their best interest. The population is easier to control if they're dumbed down and stupid and they have no financial resources. What does Bitcoin allow? It allows you to unplug from their matrix. It's the escape valve, right? Where you don't have to be enslaved. You don't have to work for minimum wage, right? You can become wealthy. The way that the planet is designed, God created this planet for everyone to thrive. The only reason we're not all thriving and hunger exists and war, it's by freaking design. There's very greedy people at the top who can care less about your life. You know what I mean? If they had the opportunity, they'd spit on your grave and take a piss and a shit right on it. That's what they think about you. They think you're stupid. Right? They don't believe you deserve to live. It's called eugenics, survival of the fittest. They're too stupid to live, so let them kill each other. You know what I mean? That's how they're thinking, right? Here's how I'm thinking. Let's stack some freaking sats. Let's not be controlled. Let's not be enslaved. Let's exercise our First Amendment right of the U.S. Constitution. Let's stand on it. We got freedom of speech. Let's speak the truth. And let's stand up as a people and rise as a collective and demand the government follow what we want. And let's stop acquiescing and let's just comply. They say it's in our best interest. Let's just do the CBDC. Oh, they're going to give us $100 for free and a stimulus. We have to CBDC now, folk. Get out of here. Don't be such a, don't fall victim for their BS. You know what I mean? They were pushing poison to the youth and trying to persuade people to inject the poison in their blood by waving a hamburger and some French fries in your face. Yeah. Anyways, I think I'm a little too hyped for my own health, so I'm going to let you guys go. Let's recap with a recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. We discussed the latest technical analysis. Bitcoin is up 5% on the day, which is a beautiful sign. We shared breaking news, $1.5 trillion asset manager. Franklin Templeton files for a spot Bitcoin ETF as the domino effect continues for the spot ETFs in the United States. We also discussed that PayPal enables US users to sell crypto via the MetaMask wallet. And for the record, I don't trust PayPal and I don't trust MetaMask, just saying. Anyways, we also discussed crypto investor Chris Bernzik predicts a Santa Claus rally before the Fed cuts the rates in 2024. We also discussed Bitcoin to hit $100,000 at around the time of the Bitcoin halving, according to the Canaan VP. And we also discussed the latest from the eToro CEO, seeing the Bitcoin price shattering new all-time highs of $100,000. And I shared his timeline. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, show your support only if you got value out of today's show. And I look